So that's lovely. It looks like my stream stopped about 10 minutes ago. So I'm just going to pick up where we left off. We'll call this one part 3. Got to keep an eye on that. I don't even know why that happened. I have to set up a second monitor maybe. I don't know. Could have just been the internet, but no worries. We're at John 6:15. We're just gonna take it to 7. Yeah, and I just read that, so this was a good reading. I'm gonna reread it, and then we'll end at 7. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. All right, so just before we read new video, let's open our hearts, let's open our ears, let us hear what God wanted us to hear, and not what the world wanted us to block. Let it be received with openness. And let us be honest with ourselves, and let us look at the mirror instead of through a magnifying glass. Therefore, when Jesus perceived that they were about to come and take him... Oh, wait. We're at the boat part, right? Okay, so we're on 22. On the following day, when the people who were standing on the other side of the sea saw that there was no other boat there except the one which his disciples had entered, and that Jesus had not entered the boat with his disciples, but his disciples had gone alone. However, other boats came from Tiberias near the place where they ate bread, after the Lord had given thanks. When the people therefore saw that Jesus was not there, nor his disciples, they also got into boats and came to Capernaum, seeking Jesus. And when they found him on the other side of the sea, they said to him, Rabbi, where did you come here? Jesus answered them, and said, Most assuredly, I say to you, you seek me not because you saw the signs, but because you ate the loaves and you got full. Don't labor for the food which perishes, but for the food which endures to everlasting life, which the Son of Man will give you, because God the Father has set his seal on him. Then they said to him, What shall we do that we may work the works of God? Jesus answered and said to them, This is the work of God, that you believe in him whom he sent. Therefore they said to him, What sign will you perform then, that we may see it and believe you? What work will you do? Our fathers ate the manna in the desert, as it is written, He gave them bread and from heaven to eat. Then Jesus said to them, Most assuredly, I say to you, Moses did not give you the bread from heaven, but my Father gives you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is he who comes down from heaven and gives life to the world. Then they said to him, Lord, give us this bread always. And Jesus said to them, I am the bread of life. He who comes to me shall never hunger, and he who believes in me shall never thirst. But I said to you that all have seen me and yet do not believe. All that the Father gives me will come to me, and the one who comes to me I will by no means cast out. For I have come down from heaven, not to do my own will, but to do the will of him who sent me. This is the will of the Father who sent me, that of all he has given me I should lose nothing, but should raise it up on the last day. And this is the will of him who has sent me, that everyone who sees the Son and believes in him may have everlasting life. And I will raise him up in the last day. The Jews then complained about him down. He said, I am the bread which came down from heaven. And they said, Is not this Jesus, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How is it that he says he came down from heaven? Jesus therefore answered and said to them, Do not murmur among yourselves. No one could come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him. And I will raise him up on the last day. It is written in the prophets, and it shall be taught by God. Therefore, for everyone who has heard and learned from the Father comes to me. Not that anyone has seen the Father except he who is from God. He has seen the Father. Most assuredly, I say to you, he who believes in me has everlasting life. I am the bread of life. Your father ate the manna in the wilderness and are dead. This is the bread which comes down from heaven, that one may eat of it and not die. I am the living bread, which came down from heaven. If anyone eats of this bread, he will live forever. And that bread I shall give is my flesh, which I shall give for the life of the whole world. The Jews therefore quarreled amongst themselves, saying, "How can this man give us flesh to eat?" And Jesus said to him, "Most assuredly, I say to you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. Whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood has eternal life, and I will raise him up on the last day. For my flesh is food indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. He who eats my flesh and drinks my blood abides in me, and I in him. As the living Father sent me, and I live because of the Father, so he who feeds on me will live because of me. This is the bread which came down from heaven, not as your fathers ate the manna and are dead. He who eats this bread will live forever." These things he said in the synagogue as he taught in Capernaum. Therefore many of his disciples, when they heard this, said, "This is a hard saying. Who could even understand it?" When Jesus knew it himself that his disciples complained about this, he said to them, "Does this offend you? What then? If you should see the Son of Man ascend where he was before, it is the Spirit who gives life. The flesh profits nothing. The words that I speak to you are spirit, they are life. But there are some of you who do not believe." For Jesus knew from the beginning who they were and who did not believe, and even who would betray him. And he said, "Therefore I have said to you that no one could come to me unless it's been granted to him by my Father." From that time, many of his disciples went back and walked with him no more. And then Jesus said to the 12, "Do you also want to go away?" But Simon Peter answered him, "Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life. Also, we have come to believe and know that you are the Christ, the Son of the living God." Jesus answered them, "Did I not choose you, the 12, and one of you is a devil?" He spoke of Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon, for it was he who would betray him, being one of the 12. And that wraps us up. We got to John. That we'll start next time. We just finished chapter 6. We'll start next time at John chapter 7. And I am terribly sorry for the technical difficulties. I'll figure out what that was and try to make that not happen anymore. It may have been an error on my end. I apologize. I'd like to wrap us out with a prayer, please. Lord, I just hope that the words we received, may they have landed in fertile soil. May some of the seeds take root, and may some of those seeds grow and blossom when you want them to grow, Lord. And may they turn into whatever you want them to be, Lord. So as we've heard the word, we'd like to thank you for providing us the word, and also for providing us your Son, who provided us the very bread and the very blood which we need to live eternally. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you on John chapter 7 next time. Dust off those Bibles, folks.